Hello guys, and thanks for joining me. I hope all is well. Today I would like to talk to you about the importance of keeping your life simple. Now, to keep your life simple, you have to understand that it applies to all three levels that you have: your physical, mental and spiritual level, and you have to try to keep things as simple as possible if you really want to be happy in this life. So on physical level, we usually complicate our lives by getting too much stuff, and what I mean by that, majority of the stuff that we get, it doesn't matter what it is. It can be, anything material, from clothes to cars and houses, you name it. Anything that you can afford, if you keep just getting more and more of that stuff, and you in reality only gonna use 10% of that, and you're lucky if you only use 10% of what you have. The rest, let's call it 90%, which a lot of times it's more than that, you basically have sitting around collecting dust. And sometimes it goes by the scenario, as it goes in that saying, that your possessions will possess you. And this is where we end up if we just get too much stuff which we shouldn't have gotten in the first place. So next time, before you get anything, just ask yourself a simple question. Do I really need this? Or do I want it right now? If you just want to have it right now and everything is done like impulsively like that, just give it another day, 2 or 3, and chances are great that you will find yourself changing your mind on that. You will change your opinion on that and probably will never get it, what you were so ready to get a few days ago. So again, keep things simple. Only get what you really, really need. There is a story about the famous Greek philosopher Diogenes, and how he basically made his life as simple as possible. He ended up just living in a big barrel, and the only thing that he pretty much had was this big wooden dipper that he would go to the river and just, grab some water with that and drink water with it, until one day he saw that people come to river and they just grab the water with their hands and drink it out of their hands. So he looked at him, looked at that dipper, and then he said, "Oh, wow, I don't need that either." And he threw that away. So I'm not saying that you should necessarily, live the way great Diogenes did, but this story just has some meaning, that even the most simple guy who lived in Greece back then, even he could make his life even, simpler. So that's just one of the stories I wanted to share with you. Now, on a mental level, people usually complicate their lives by thinking too much about things that are totally irrelevant. They just don't mean anything, and sometimes they will go into a really deep analysis and analyzing things and all this thought process on things that don't matter at all. They shouldn't even think about those. So we basically trash our brain with the information which at least 90% of it, I'm just giving the hypothetical number. Again, I believe that for most of the people, that number is even higher. But let's just assume that 90% information that we think about, we analyze, we basically torture our poor brain is for nothing. So just don't do that. You know that saying that some people get paralysis by analysis? You know, that represents what we do. We just analyze, think so much, almost end up paralyzing ourselves. We get so tired when we go to bed, and it's all because we processed too much of unnecessary information. I call it just a garbage information. We shouldn't even process it, you know, in begin with. So try to simplify your life on all the levels. We need to really be able to determine what's really important and what isn't, and only go with what's important. Don't forget that if you get yourself exhausted on mental level, again, by processing too much of unnecessary information, brain is an important tool that connects the external world to internal world, to our soul. And if your brain gets tired and start, not functioning properly, you're going to end up having problem connecting the two worlds with each other. You know, the external, the outside world with the internal, with your inside world, which is your soul. Spiritually, it's the same way. People will take some of the feelings very, very deep into the soul, and we've covered it previously in some of our videos. Don't get anything into your heart. Don't, because that's the deepest way you can basically feel anything in this world. Don't take to spiritual world anything that will affect your peace in that soul. You always want your soul, your spirit to be at peace, and nothing should disturb that. So again, if you take too much to the greatest depth of your soul and then hold it there, it's going to ruin the peace, and it's going to ruin your life as a result of that. So again, just wanted to talk to you today about the importance of keeping your life simple as possible, and that it's totally up to you. Nobody and nothing can force you to take more than you need to have. That's all I wanted to share with you today. I want to thank you for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon.